We are cruising along with this event. Lots of good stuff coming up. We got Anankoz coming up with DKC3. And that would be the end of our little Donkey Kong block. It's a block that I've been very much looking forward to ever since this event got announced. Big fan of the franchise. And I'm happy to be on the mic, at least to some extent, for some of that. But we're going to finish getting that set up and bring that to you soon. We're a little ahead of schedule. That's not a bad thing. We've been moving on a pretty good pace, honestly, this entire event, which makes me very happy. Because usually, I don't know how many marathons you've been a part of, but they're usually behind schedule by quite some time. This is going fantastic. All right, I'm going to go talk to them. I'll be back shortly. Oh, we have a Woo Pyramid from Recold? Thank you so much. Yes. And not only do we get a Woo Pyramid, we get $20 from Recold. It says, hi, I wanted to spread the word of woo 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 woo. Thank you very much, Recold. Really appreciate it. Excellent run today. Great talking to you. Great seeing some DKC. And thank you very much for your very generous contribution. Dang, the Woven's Pyramid got denied? There we go, okay. How's it going, chat? How have we enjoyed the run so far today? I've had a good time. I think this has been a fantastic final day to the event. A great event overall. I'm sad. I was out of the house when DBK ran Fight Animals, but that game's so funny. I need to watch that run tonight. That game's so funny. It is peak character design, the game. If you haven't seen Fight of Animals in any context, you are missing out on a truly, truly special game. Yeah, so in, God, it was like 2017 or something, there's a company that made Fight of Gods, which was a fighting game using gods from all sorts of different mythologies and everything, and it's as basically a goofy, almost like parody fighting game. And then they made Fight of Animals, which uses basically a bunch of meme images of animals as the basis for all of their all of their characters, and it's great. If CJ has only been bullied twice in one event, that is not enough bullying. That's a good start. We got half a day left. CJ denied us the Harvest Moon 64 run, and for that, we should bully him again. Alright, Shuli, what are your top 3 favorite duck games that you want to see in Speed Ducks? Okay, it's been discussed. I can make some reasonable predictions, because I'll be honest, there aren't that many duck games, and I can think of a few. And as you know, CJ really likes DuckTales. I bet you could convince that to happen at the very least. Duck game, Untitled Goose Game, and IRL Duck Duck Goose, but not DuckTales, not the actual game with ducks in it. You don't want that one. Hi, Tommy. Twitch add a feature to list all chatters currently typing a message like Discord has? No. I'm sure you could get some sort of cursed browser extension that would do that. But I'll pass. It would just always be several people who are typing. Isn't there also a Duck Dodgers game on the N64? I feel like that would work for your duck-based marathon. Yeah, that's what I thought. We could have the plastic duck simulator just running in the corner the entire time. You know, like they have those marathons where there's like a frame game that it's all based around. I feel like that could work. Now, would Duck Hunt be allowed? Because that's like a very anti-duck game. But like it's Escape from Duck Off? What? No Duck Hunt? That's not allowed? Okay. Oh, what is this nonsense? Oh my god. It's not even out yet, but there is a demo. As long as the duck wins each round, so you'd have to throw. So the object of the duck hunt would just be to lose. When I was a kid, obviously I did play that on the NES, but we also had like a machine that was effectively Duck Hunt, but it projected on your wall. And so it was effectively a light gun thing, but rather than just being on a tiny TV screen, you had the gun and a projector, and it would project onto your wall and you'd have to shoot it. It was actually pretty fun. Alright, it looks like we are just about done setting up the next run. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're all looking forward to it too. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with Anankoz with DKC3. All right, real quick, chat. We need some suggestions. We need for file names. 5-character limit. What do we want to see? Throw in some suggestions, and then I'll have Shuli make a poll. What do we want to see for the DKC3 file name? You have to run things a little bit differently this time. Sable? You know what? Never mind. We're doing Sable. Yep. Executive decision. Okay, that works. No need for a poll. Welcome back, everybody, to Speed Dogs presents Speed Dogs, aka Sable8. I am Dayman, and I am joining you here for this next run of our event and the end of our Donkey Kong block. I'm here with Anankoz, who is going to bring us Donkey Kong Country 3. Could you please say hi to the people and introduce your commentators?
Yeah, hello everyone, welcome back to the Donkey block. We'll finish with Donkey Kong Country 3, the best of the original trilogy, of course. I'll be running a category called All Banana Birds, or alternatively True Ending, where we save all the banana birds, because birds are pets. During the run I'm mostly going to be quiet, but I have two friends and lovely commentators with me, Domes and Zeus. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Domes. I'm also a DKC3 runner, so I'm going to be helping Anankoz with some insight on the game.
Hello from my part as well. I'm Zeus. Happy midnight from the EU lands. I've also run multiple DKC games with the main category being 103%, so this is kind of similar and different in different ways, but we'll go over that in a bit.
Yes, indeed. So, this category involves using a code here that I'm going to input
Cheating.
here.
You're going to start by cheating.
Baby
Yep.
rage, it's allowed. So it's the water code, and we'll see in a minute what that achieved. And optionally, I'm going to input a second code for the superior Kong colors.
True.
Yeah, this one I'm totally against. So, but I'm alone in that part.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, you are kind of alone, at least in this call.
Alright, so I'm ready to start whenever. So shall we get this show on the road?
Yeah, count us down.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
EY.
So where do we start off with the category? So as I said, it's kind of 103, it's kind of any percent, it's kind of a mix of multiple categories that we're going to go through, but basically what our goal is to save the banana birds, and what we're going to need is all the DK coins and of course then all the banana birds. So
Right.
what is going to happen here first is that Anankoz is going to go into a cave that that cheat code opened and do like a Simon Says minigame to get all the bonus coins in the game. So we're not going to do any of the bonuses in this run, hopefully.
Hopefully. Yeah, this minigame is essentially the same one you do to unlock the banana birds that are scattered through the overworld. The point of doing this minigame is that usually you would have to do all the bonuses in the game and then achieve 103% to be able to do that. So this code saves like almost an hour of gameplay.
I'm glad no one noticed I failed the first trick in the run.
We don't talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first worlds are gonna be kind of interesting in a sense that we are both gonna use the developer intended warps and not use them. And I'm so used to playing 103 that I'm gonna be a bit confused on some of the levels, like if we're gonna use a warp or not. But in this first level, we're gonna grab the DK coin, and this is a really tough, tight team up throw into the first warp barrel, and it can give you some troubles, but there we go.
Yeah, I actually did not know that you could reach that with, by throwing Kitty, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, me neither, because it's so tight, I thought it was impossible.
To hit it first try in a
yeah.
run.
Just to make sure, like, if anyone is not familiar with Donkey, which, I mean, we have been streaming Donkey for a while now, but in this game specifically, we save a lot of time by doing rolls, which is like the attack, and jumping right after. So whenever you do a roll, your Kong stops a bit. So to prevent the stopping, we jump. So that's essentially the rhythm of the game. You roll and jump a lot to save, I don't know how much time, but a lot of time throughout the game.
Yeah. And I guess rope movement and pretty much all kinds of movements. If someone watched the DKC2 run earlier, also the SNES version of that, so there were a lot of different types of glitches, wrong warps, and so on. But this game is really purely movement based, apart from just like a few spots. So movement heavy game.
Anankoz, when you're finished this level, can you bump up your game volume just a smidge, please?
Yeah, sure.
And in this early game, some of the levels have a very early decay coin. Like the next level we're gonna be entering, the decay coin is right on the beginning. But this level, for example, it was right at the end. So that's why we're gonna be using the developer warps a little bit. Also, not using them in some levels.
Is the game more audible now?
And there's our first banana bird.
That's great, thank you very much.
Ah, good.
Yep, nice. And this
How many
next
banana
level
birds
is
are
an example of a level that has the DK kind of like right at the start. So it's pretty much just playing the level any percent, grabbing the coin, and getting to the warp barrel. Right after that.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go for the water bounce.
No, they didn't want to team up.
How many banana birds are there again? Are there 15, if I remember correctly? Or is it 13?
I guess a 103 runner should know that, but I never remember.
Yeah, no idea either. I know their official name is Bananas Goldus Flutterers, though.
That's crazy.
Cool facts.
So here's the first instance that we're gonna grab the warp and then re-enter the level. Because it's easier to grab the decay coin and start select out of the level instead of beating the whole thing. That's gonna be used a lot in World 2.
It's pretty much just routing the first few worlds around the dev warps. If it's slower to use them, then it's just gonna be like playing through the level warpless, or doing the re-entry, or backtracking into the warp barrel. So one of those three are gonna be used, and on this level it's gonna be the re-entry. So we're gonna grab the goal, then go back in and try for Ellie skip.
Yeah, this trick right here is a very heavy reset point in 103 runs, but it's a very, very cool trick that I'm sure Anankoz is gonna try his hardest to get. It is a 2-frame window. There we go.
There we go.
EA.
Easy.
Easy trick. By doing very precise jumps, you can just slide under the Ellie barrel. Because Ellie is very, very cute, but unfortunately she's also very, very slow.
Yeah. And why it's so hard is that you don't really carry momentum when you go into the duck state. So when you duck, you don't really slide forward that much, and the only way to get under the barrel is to duck. So that's why it's just such a tight trick to get.
15 according to Google. Thanks for checking.
And then we have a barrel that you need to feed.
Yeah, this boss goes so fast that it's kind of hard to explain what's going on.
Yeah.
But Anankoz did a good job there being careful. If you grab the coin too early, you can actually soft lock the game, because you just fall down with Belcha and you never go away off the level or get out.
Yeah. Next, we're gonna have the first instance of a zip. We're gonna see those more, at least in Chromatoa. How do zips work? You pretty much manipulate the camera or get the other cone stuck on the outside or something?
So the way that zips work is when you team throw, you're not supposed to be able to move, right? But then by having an enemy come under you, or a barrel in the case of Chromatoa, it actually like breaks Kitty out of the lock. So you move in a place that has a wall between you and Dixie. So the game doesn't have a path to pull Dixie back to you. So what it does, it just throws you on the next floor. You can find, essentially. It zips you up.
There we go. I just do the trick. I don't know how it works, but now I know.
It saved this zip specifically saves 4 seconds, I believe.
And as I said, the most zip-heavy level is gonna be coming up in Inkermato, the kind of secret world of this game. There's gonna be a lot of zips there.
Yeah, that level was pretty fun. And now we have a speedrun inside of a speedrun.
Exactly.
This level
And unfortunately, the warp barrel is not in a good spot in relation to DK coin, so we just have to do this level warpless. A way to speed it up.
Yeah, we
Using the
also
warps.
have to beat the bear to be able to access a bird. So there's also that.
I hope Anankoz can do that. And I guess now is also a good time to explain the bear coins, because that's one of the collectibles that we also have to collect. So we have the DK coins, and then we're gonna collect the banana birds on the way. But to kind of do these side quests throughout the game to get access to banana bird caves and vehicles that we use to drive around the overworld, we're also gonna need the bear coins to buy some stuff from a shop. And Anankoz is gonna attempt, I think it was 52 coin route, and that's how many we should be able to collect when World 5 ends, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Technically, we wouldn't need 55, but he's gonna do a little trick that we're gonna be explaining later.
A little
Pretty
crime.
neat. Yeah, a little crime. But yeah, this level is also faster to grab the warp, unfortunately, because this level is very fun. Also, I don't think we explained about the DK coins. In DKC2, the only reason to grab DK coins was to achieve like a ranking on a leaderboard, to beat Link and beat Mario later in the game. In this game, you actually unlock a vehicle by grabbing all the DK coins, so we're going to be seeing that later in the run.
Yeah. And that is why we need all the collectibles to get to all the DK coins and then get to all the banana birds. Late game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is another level that's very long. It's a huge vertical level. You have like bouncing spiders, also pretty fun. So Anankoz is just gonna do quick warp grab and then go collect the DK coin.
Yeah, the DK coin is so far up, I almost would have thought that it would be faster to fall down the level. Like even re-enter and fall down the level again, because you have to go a decent way up to
I don't believe
get
it's
this coin.
possible to get to the DK coin from...
Yeah, it might be, yeah.
Yeah, I think
I don't think I've ever gone that far down in this level. In 103 we grabbed the bonus using the warp, but that's pretty much it.
This level is also very hard to perform optimally. You can see Anankoz did like a little bonk on a tree door to be able to land on a spider and get a cycle. So there's a lot of little movement optimizations in this level that are very, very tough.
Yeah, many of the jumps are really tight. You have to get the correct amount of height each jump to make the next cycle on a spider and so on. That was pretty clean.
Yeah, pretty good. And here you enter the speedrun.com HQ and inform the bear that he was bopped.
Sad times. So Clank,
Go ahead.
skipping another elephant in the run.
But first we're going to do the bird cave. Going to the bird cave before re-entering the level actually saves time, incredibly. Because if you come back to the level before beating it, you save a couple frames from...
Yeah, it's like a few frames, right?
Yeah. But it's faster.
So skipping the elephant, and Anankoz is gonna grab this barrel and throw it. In this game, they are just gonna float in the water and use the barrel to team throw over that Ellie barrel right there. And that's how we're gonna skip her in this level. So we will see her later, but we'll try to avoid her as much as possible. Unfortunately, because she's slow.
Yeah, very well done. It's trickier than it looks because you need to wait a little bit for the camera to despawn the Ellie barrel.
Yeah, we are not really even like going above the barrel, with pretty much despawning the barrel and then going through it, kinda. So if the camera is too high up, you're just gonna go into the barrel.
Yeah, this boss here is a bit of a gatekeeper in our attempts. It's a very, I want to say easy boss, because it's just like throwing the girl up and then throwing the barrel, but the movement of the spider is kind of unpredictable. So sometimes just gets in the way and breaks your barrel, and you have to waste a bunch of cycles.
Yeah, you can get hit or waste the barrel, and it's a pain. It's a pain.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first time we're gonna swap vehicles to move along in the overworld, getting over those rocks with the hovercraft.
Yeah, this game is really close to being a Final Fantasy game, because you have changeable vehicles, you have side quests, you have NPCs, you have currencies, you have a boss that looks like a demon wall or something. So it's almost a Final Fantasy.
True. And now the warps are over, so the dev intended warps are over, so from here on out, it's pretty much gonna be playing the levels any percent and grabbing the DK coins and the bear coins when navigating through the levels. So that's pretty much the goal up until we don't need the bear coins anymore, and then we're just gonna be focused on the DK coins and beating the levels.
Mm-hmm. And now the platforming starts to get much tighter as well, especially because this word was supposed to be played. You can choose to be the third word or the fourth word, but it was supposed to be harder than the next word we're gonna play. So it has some very difficult levels.
Well, 4.
I mean, we are playing as third, but yeah, you
World 4.
can call it whatever you want.
Let's not go there. Glenn is already in chat saying that Mechanos is World 3. So.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you very much. And here we have a very cool.
I love your alley skip setup, but you're wrong.
Yeah, this is a long-standing war in the DKC community.
Never ending, maybe.
Probably.
And then we get to enjoy the fun and games of Mechanos, the auto-scrollers. Especially painfully in doing any percent attempts. Because you get here really fast and then you have to sit through like... What, 5 minutes of auto-scrollers? Not that much, maybe. 3 minutes? I don't know.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
Too long.
Too long. Back to back. Too long for sure.
Same kind of optimizations as in DKC2 run earlier, jumping down slopes, but with the railings on top of, in the roof, whatever. You can maintain your momentum by grabbing them in optimal spots. I don't know, it's just weird magic to me, like what is fast on this level and what is not.
Yeah, most of the time we just take a look at the tasks and follow the movement, because it's already like calculated properly.
Yeah. And I guess the one unfortunate thing about the way that they handle the DK coins in DKC3 is that you have those coin enemies that you kill when you grab the coins. And they can pretty much be only in certain spots, so you can't have DK coins underwater or during an auto-scrolling section with a vehicle or whatever, because you need the Kongs to kill the coin. So, for example, in that level, it's just waiting for you at the end of the level, which is in spots kind of lame, but just have to deal with it.
Yeah, it doesn't have like a lot of freedom because they attach the coin to an enemy, so you can't just hide anywhere, especially in levels that are underwater. Also, Anankoz is probably going to be taking damage in certain spots that we're not used to be able to have Kitty in front, because Kitty 99% of the time is a better thrower. It has a better throw of the barrel. Dixie throw kind of sucks.
And platforming is also a bit, I don't know if, well, easier, I guess, as well, because Dixie can have a bit of a stutter when you land with her compared to Kitty.
Also, in
So
this level, it's,
Kitty best Gong.
No, Kitty is definitely better than Dixie in this game. Not a controversial take at all. But in this level, we try to not kill any rats. Like, we try to avoid the rats as much as possible, because every rat you defeat actually lags the game for, I think it's 2 frames?
Yeah, 1 or 2 frames.
So saving the animals actually saves the frames in this level.
And there is gonna be a lot more, like, lag optimization strats later as well.
Mm-hmm.
Game was released. N64 was out, right?
Yeah, it was.
So they tried to get everything out of the SNES with this game, and it shows a bit in certain spots of the game. Can have pretty
very laggy.
Severe amounts of lag.
It is also the price to pay for like having all this 3D model put into the all these very gorgeous backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Well,
that's the thing.
I didn't think you were gonna die there, but okay.
No, me neither.
Like it looked good to me.
Yeah, usually when you bonk and then you try to go above the barrel, that usually happens.
Yeah.
Oh well, got the death out of the way now, hopefully.
True. Here we got rid of Kitty, taking a little squitter section here to get the DK coin, what we sacked Kitty to only have 1 Kong entering those blasting barrels at a time. Because in this game, the game actually waits both Kongs are in the barrel, so if you only have 1 Kong, you don't have to wait for the other one to enter the barrel.
Yeah, and here we're doing a little bit of a 103 strat. We take damage and play a little bit with Kitty, which is very scary in this level because he's not very good at dodging TNT barrels.
Okay, was waiting to see if you go for the fast shot or not.
Same.
Nah, that death spooked me.
And now we have a very unique level in the trilogy, the low gravity level. They changed the gravity, or I guess the mechanics of this level to make everything go super slow. You can jump super high. But the problem with going super slow is that any mistake you make costs a lot more time than it should. So dying in this level, for example, takes so long. But Anankoz is doing a very good job cutting the corners in this stage. It's a very, very hard stage to optimize.
Yeah, I guess that's one thing that people kind of think of as a drawback of this game, even though I said at the start that the run itself is pretty much a lot of platforming instead of like glitchy tricks and so on, but there is a lot of levels with some kind of a gimmick. Low G with the gravity and reversing D-pad and whatever else there are, so... might not be everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah,
But I like it. I think, at least for me, this is my favorite game of the SNES trilogy.
Yeah, same for me. I mean, the KC2 also has a lot of gimmicks, but I think they don't affect your gameplay as much as 3. Like 3, you kind of
Yeah.
have to use the level mechanics every time. So that's why it feels more restricting.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
And now Anankoz took an actual intended deboost here because he's gonna be doing a very cool threat for the next boss.
So what is gonna be happening is we wait for the first time that Chaos puts his blades down or out, I guess. We're gonna be using team throw hovering to try to stay on top of him for the entire fight. Which saves a lot of time. I don't even remember how much this saves compared to just doing the boss normally.
Oh, it's a lot of time. This is called the one cycle.
Unfortunate.
Fortunately, Anankoz dropped the team throw hover.
The strat is a lot more nuanced, I guess, than it looks. Like you have to be in a certain position at a certain time, at a certain height, throw at a certain time. There's a lot of variables to make the hovers work because you can get inconsistent bounces off of the Chaos's head. But if you're at the same spot every time, then you can make it a lot more consistent.
Yeah, and also you can't really see Dixie because she goes out of bounds a little bit, or out of the screen. So it's hard to time. You need to be very precise. You can't just mash through the throw. You need to be precise with the repress. It was a very good 2-cycle though.
Yeah, unfortunately 2-cycle. Doesn't often go wrong. But every time in a marathon it goes wrong, it seems.
I think it's a good thing to mention that this is only possible in the American version of the game, which is the one Anankoz is playing on. The Japanese version, the moment you land on Kale's head, you just get thrown backwards. Fall on the ground.
Marathon luck indeed.
Yeah. And this is gonna be our first water level. Water physics a lot floatier than in the earlier games. Like if you make a certain move, you are gonna go that way. So making these corners tight is pretty difficult. It's difficult in all of the games, but it feels even harder in this game, at least for me.
Yeah, the good thing about this game is that the infamous water level in the KC2, that's the glimmers level, you actually have like squares everywhere, so it's very difficult to cut the corners. Here the corals are very round and very smooth, so they are
That's true.
That's much easier in
Yeah, you can get away with some moves without straight up bonking into a wall and losing a lot of time. That's true.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, at the end of the water level, there's gonna be like a little cave with the flag and the decay coin usually.
I don't know why, but for me at least, Conantop Cove has always felt like the weakest world of the game for me. Like the water levels are cool, the music is good, but I don't think most of the levels are that interesting if you compare it to the rest of the game.
I think it's just very easy in a speedrun setting. Like this level is there's not much that can go wrong. I hope I don't jinx it, but it's very like comfy. The next level feels like the first level.
Keep talking about how nothing here can go wrong.
And there's another waterfall level that's very similar to this one. So I think it's just a very, I guess weak is a good word, but it's a very easy linear word in the speedrun setting. But it does have a very cool decay coin strat that we're going to be seeing here. Anankoz is going to be using the spawn mechanics in this game. Usually things spawn just above your, or just after your screen. So it's going to be throwing in a very specific spot, and then spawning the decay coin right on top, or the coin guy, right on top of the barrel. So he dies immediately. It's a very, very cool strat.
And there you can also see, like, in some levels how little this category kinda differentiates from the any percent route. Like there you only take that little detour to grab the, of course you grab the pair coins as well, but you only take that small detour to grab the coin and then move on. Same with this level pretty much. The coin is gonna be at the end of the level. But this is definitely I think the scariest level in this world.
Yeah, in this level we want to be solo Dixie because there's a lot of lag reduction. So any move that goes wrong, you just face plants into a explosive barrel.
Yeah.
I want to see if Anankoz is gonna go for a very specific decay coin strat here.
Oh, you mean throwing it off that building?
Yeah, it doesn't save any time, but it's fun.
I don't think I've learned that, sorry.
So in this level we're actually gonna see Ellie. We have to get her to get the DK coin. So one of the levels that the routes between any percent and this actually differentiate quite a bit.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic because in this level she's actually optional, but we need to grab her to be able to get
True.
her.
Yeah, I never actually thought about it that way.
It is a very common mistake for for people that are learning the game to accidentally jump on the alley barrel.
Yeah, because you also have to avoid the DK barrel there shooting out of the shooting barrel and then avoid the blue guy. So you can just easily roll into the alley barrel by accident. Or jump.
Exactly. Yeah, not a very not really interesting, but not a very hard level. It's very comfy. Here's Anankoz is doing a lag reduction strat. He's gonna wait a little bit for so he loads one blue guy at a time.
And also avoids the steel keg from going out of view, I guess. Or despawns. And if the level before the previous one was the, how did I describe it? The most dangerous, I think I said. This is the most BS. Probably in the game.
In a run earlier today, he disappeared again for a while and then came back, ate an urchin and killed me.
Yeah, so you can barely see the fish that's coming after us. You can feed him fish or you can feed him those urchin guys. Fish good, urchin bad. But sometimes he just decides to go off screen, and when he's off screen he's not gonna eat anything. And just the timer runs out, he's gonna be red when he comes after you and bites you. Which is really annoying when that happens.
He's also classified by the game as an animal buddy.
Oh yeah,
despite wanting to
the best animal body.
bite you.
Yeah. The body that kills you.
It's also not a very interesting level in terms of layout because you just go like left and right. There's not a lot of corners to cut.
Yeah,
just a kind of a bland level.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end again, the coin is gonna be right here. Well, it's a bit of a variation. You actually have to team up, throw up, but yeah, it's just gonna be waiting for you at the end of the level there.
Yeah, thankfully you have a decay barrel there, so if you take damage, it's not run over.
That would be fun with the fish coming after you. Just bites you and you can't even get the DK coin anymore.
That's how it goes in 105, yeah. Really scary level there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in 105 you don't have the barrel. And here we have a interesting boss fight.
Whatever this guy is.
Yeah, this is the demon wall I was talking about. We never reach a consensus on what this guy is.
Yeah, it's been almost 30 years and we still don't know what this is.
But we have Ellie. I believe Ellie has a very strong resistance to knockback, specifically because of this boss. So, because I've played with this game a bit, I've done some ROM hacking stuff, and if you are a Kong here, the moment the water touches you, you just go almost off screen instantly. It's very strong. So Ellie has a bit of a knockback resistance.
Is it an Ellie? Is it like an Ellie property or what? Why is that? Why is that a thing? Or I wonder if they even tested it with the Kongs because they never were supposed to be in that fight anyway.
Yeah, I don't think so, but it might be like an animal buddy property in general. Like I think Squidder also is very resistant to knockbacks and knockas and stuff like that.
Let's see. There is a wall here?
What?
Oh my god, the secret!
I was just circling around those rocks for fun.
Yeah, this is Krematoa, and we're gonna be attempting a very, very cool trick here. Yeah, that's didn't work unfortunately. So, what you can do in this little bear hut, you're gonna deliver him the bonus coins, and he's gonna unlock levels for you. But if you, when you're about to deliver them, if you press B, release B for 1 frame, and then press B again in the next frame, you're actually gonna leave the hut and keep most of your coins with you. So then you can re-enter and unlock the last level without having to get more coins and re-enter the hut later. Which is called a boomer's kick. Unfortunately, it's a very hard trick.
Yeah, there will be more bear skips we can try later on, but unfortunately no dice with the boomer.
My hands are too sweaty to do the bear skips.
You get one.
Yeah,
I guess one.
like a specific technique to do it. We put 2 fingers a little bit apart, and then you slide both fingers on the B button, so you have the correct interval.
Let's see if he avoids the bonus.
There, hey, we have a bonus!
Marathon luck.
So we don't need the grab parry in this level, but you can get more bear coins if you have parry. And Anankoz went for that, and now he's paying the price. And I already told him that if he enters the bonus, he has to complete it.
Yeah, it was a deal we made. Yeah, also, this is the scariest bonus in the game, probably.
Yeah,
it's over.
In 103, this world is the last world we do, so that bonus it's so scary.
But well done. The first level is not very interesting. I mean, it's just an auto-scroller. It has a cool concept, but it's very simple execution.
So here we're gonna see the zips that I was talking about in World 2. Like, there is gonna be so many. I don't even remember how many zips there are in this level, or that you can do. You can also skip some of them to be more safe, but Anankoz is gonna go for pretty much every one of them.
Yeah, Anankoz has the rhythm. It's a very, very cool level to watch. This is what I was talking about. Every time he team throws in the correct position, a barrel is gonna knock Kitty away, and he's gonna move where there's a wall between him and Dixie. So the game doesn't know what to do. It just throws you up on the next floor. And you can do that over and over again.
this is still my favorite level to execute, play, whatever. It's so much fun.
It's really
Annoying if you don't hit the zips, but when you get this level right, it feels so good.
We're actually very lucky that this terrain is not like hollow. Because if you try to do a zip on a hollow terrain, you just go out of bounds, and you can't go out anymore. And for this level, you actually have a very linear cave level, but you have a new enemy. There are these twin guys. They just jump around or run around. They are not that threatening with Squitter, because Squitter can just deal with them. And we need Squitter to get the decay coin.
Again, another instance of a level where you only grab the animal body because we need it for the DK coin. Otherwise, we could just... still a really fun... I would say even more fun to play through with just the Kong movement. Another really satisfying level, in my opinion, to play.
Oh, he almost got it.
Oh,
There's a squeeze you can do between those guys in the B that's very, very tight.
not a big deal for this category, luckily.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite level in a speedrun setting, actually. I really,
really?
really enjoyed the level. Yep. It is also very hard.
I guess I've lost too many runs at whatever this is, like the second to last level. I guess, like a real level, not counting the boss fight. Maybe that's why it goes lower on my list.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a really hard level to do optimally as well. Like pretty much every level in Kremato, apart from the first level of the world. Hard in 103, but not that interesting in true ending.
Yeah, pretty much. But I really enjoyed this level because it has very cool Fox movement, it has cool Kong movement, and also a couple zips that unfortunately Anankoz failed the first one. But the zips in the stage are very... oh my god, they're very hard.
I disagree with the first failing, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like it almost has a sub-pixel property to it, because sometimes you can swear you're in the correct position, and it just fails.
Utah. Ah. Well, no zips today, I'm afraid.
Not dead, always good.
Yep. And now we have the weirdest level of the franchise, for sure.
You've swapped before entering the rocket. Keg W.
Questionable.
Very questionable. If you grab a Kong and then swap before entering the rocket, which is a very reasonable thing to do, you actually wrong warp to a how can I explain it? In not a real level, it's like a shell of a level, and you are soft locked in there forever because there's no enemies, no flag, nothing to do.
I wonder how many players got soft locked there at some point. By
Yeah, I'm
accident.
very curious about that as well. But overall, the level is just pressing L or R to move your rocket around and avoid the walls and the ceilings.
Yeah, first trying to go down as smoothly as possible and then up. Got one bonk there on the going up, but that's fine. Maybe the
Pretty-
tightest corner there in the level. And
if
also, I
did
think
get-
you had 40 coins, so you should be good on bear coins as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say something wrong. But there's a second bumper skip here that we could do, which is not really like, it's a kind of RNG because you just have to mash B. if you press B on the correct frame, you just exit the hut immediately. It's not really a consistent trick, I think.
Yeah, that's the most BS one of the bear skips. Can't really. There is like not really a good cue. You can look at, I think when Kitty sits on the ground or something. I don't remember what the frame is, but you don't really have a good visual cue for that. Just mash and pray. Unless there is a setup found that I don't know about.
I think
It's only consistent.
some people use an audio cue.
Oh, I see.
Oh, that's interesting.
This game needed another bleak skip.
This boss fight is actually one that uses most of the SNES power. It doesn't even work properly. Like the audio, that the voice that Kiryu does when he gets hit, usually gets eaten by the rest of the audio stuff. The sound effects. It's kind of a mess.
Yeah, there's like the foreground with the conveyor, the lasers firing, and the sprites coming out from the background with the fire cannon, cable going around, and there's just a lot going on in this fight.
Exactly. It also is awful to play this last phases Dixie, because it's surprisingly hard to throw on his backpack. It's very clunky boss fight.
Yeah, we'll hope that we don't see it, but I don't know if they really, or like if that was an oversight by the devs part, because it doesn't feel intended to be that tight. Makes no sense.
Yeah, makes no sense for sure. But nice, very nice fight.
And why we actually have to do that fight is that it gives us a DK coin, which we're gonna need.
Yeah, this run actually does not do the final boss fight of the game, the first one, because we don't really have to. It doesn't achieve anything for the true ending.
This is also one of my favorite levels to play in a speedrun setting. Unless you take a hit and have to climb up the ropes as Kitty, but like Dixie movement up the ropes is so satisfying to do.
I was not expecting the actual intended strat for the DK coin, so that's pretty sick.
It's super tight. Can't believe that's the intended strategy.
Yeah, this is the cool thing that this game has over the other two, is that on horizontal ropes, Dixie is very fast. It's very satisfying to do.
Pretty good level.
Mm-hmm. And now another auto-scroller.
Same rules apply as before with the toboggan. We try to aim to do the most optimal, or jump at the optimal spots, hit some bees, skip some bees. Just whatever is the fastest way around that someone has found. Save frames with the jumps and with the momentum, like preserving your momentum.
It's cool that you can actually almost feel your cart going faster when you jump at certain spots. It has a very cool visual feedback, I guess.
Yeah, you can kind of get a feeling of if that level was fast or not.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the music.
Many times.
I thought you were gonna enter the bonus for a second.
Nah, I'm trying my hardest to not let muscle memory from 103 take over.
Yeah, it's so easy to just enter a bonus. Because you're used to, like, when you're collecting the DK coins, you just get the instinct to go into the bonuses as well.
Mm-hmm. And this is another level that uses a lot of the SNES power. All these barrels, they're actually not like enemies or sprites. They are hard-coded into the level. And they they kind of take a lot of memory to work properly.
Oh, that despawned?
That's crazy. I think it got stuck a little bit on the ledge, so the camera despawned him, or it.
Oh, I see.
Come on!
Now I see what you mean.
This is not
And also DKC3 lets this, by the way.
supposed to be a hard DK coin.
Yeah, it's surprisingly tricky. You need to throw really high up to bounce on the ledge instead of getting caught on the ledge.
And I don't know how many people catch that, but on the last go, the keg kind of bounced back straight away compared to the previous ones when it kind of got stuck on the side of the hill. And that can also happen to you as the comms. Like you can get your inputs eaten, you can get stuck on the ledges. But on the positive note, if you just miss a jump, if you do a roll, you can actually get back onto a ledge. But I don't think we're gonna see that. No more ledges to go.
Oh, nice run jump. That's very cool. So this level also we skip a lot of it by just team throwing above and using the barrels to our advantage. And now we have a strawberry milkshake factory. Or sorry, purple strawberry milkshake factory.
Again, some kind of magic with the webs. I don't really know how the fast webs work, per se, but there is usually a cooldown when you make a web, when you can make another web. But you can do some manips with your movement and so on that I don't fully understand. Which kind of removes the cooldown of your webs and you can make them instantly.
Yeah, it definitely has to do with the sprite on screen, so it depends on how the aim is going, like if it's shooting, if it's glowing, and what enemies are on screen. But it speeds up the level a lot. You can see there that Anankoz did like 4 webs without stopping.
Oh, that didn't work.
It's very, very cool.
That's how I feel every run. Oh, that didn't work.
Yeah, I never tried the fast webs myself.
I've tried to tinker with them, but I would have to put so much more time into it.
And now we have a very DKC1-like level. It's a very momentum-based, like you just very movement-based. It has a specific flow to it because or a rhythm. Because all these lemguins, they spawn much earlier than you can see them. So you kind of want to move very consistently so you can actually catch them on a good spot. They are very tricky to hit. They have very weird hitboxes. That was almost a death.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, usually you roll
Nice
through
timing.
that guy. So, case in point, I guess.
Yeah, that's definitely a Lemguin or guy, or no, Kong or a Lemguin moment.
Yeah. And this ending is really scary. I think Anankoz is going for the safer version, but I don't know, just lemguins that spawn above you, it's hard to deal with.
Pretty
Like
much.
sometimes you can bounce through them from their belly side, and sometimes you land on them and you die.
And now we have Bleak. Bleak's a very infamous boss because in any percent, when you play in the Japanese version, you can actually die to him and press start at 1 frame out of 60. And or I guess 60 FPS, right? You have 1 frame to press start and skip the boss completely. It's a very, very annoying trick. But since we're playing on the U version, we don't have to deal with that.
And
What is the reason, by the way, to play on you in True Ending?
Kramatoa.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course.
Yeah, they patched the zip level in Kramatoa. You can't really play it fast. It has a lot of more bees.
Yeah, I don't really remember all the differences between 103 on J and U because you only play 103 on U. So I don't think I've ever completed the game 103 on J.
Anankoz did a very cool trick there. He shot the snowball very early to hit Bleak on the very first possible frame, or I guess the few first possible frames. So you can hit him before the animation of him standing up. That's why Anankoz is gonna do it again. Very well done.
Yep, you can barely throw a snowball and not get hits yourself with those quick hits. Okay, so now the robbery.
Oh yes.
So we need a mirror and a shell. So what is gonna happen is that you first buy the mirror that costs 50, and then the coins start counting down, like so. And when the coins are counting down, you can actually buy the shell, even though you don't have the full 55 coins that you need. That was really, really nicely done. So you can either spam the text boxes away, or at least I think that Anankoz these days times the button presses on the menu to buy the shell in time.
I can't mash fast enough.
The minimum you can do that, I think, is 50. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. But 52 is usually pretty safe-ish.
Yeah, you need 50 to be able to buy the mirror in the first place, so...
Yeah.
It's not possible to do less than that.
Yeah, I just didn't remember if you can do it with 50 or you need 51, if you can do the menuing fast enough. But
50 is almost TAS-like, I think. Probably like one frame or something.
Pretty much starting the side quest at this point, visiting Blue in Cut on Top, and then I think that's Barter that we just visited the bear. Trading stuff over and which gains us access to some of the Banana Bird caves.
Yeah, team throwing TD while we were Dixie is not something we do regularly on the runs, because it's very clunky. It takes a lot of time for her to be able to jump and throw, so that's what happened there.
And on this level we are grateful that the devs didn't, or I guess put too much room between the bees and the walls, so you can make a lot of squeezes that you are, I guess, not supposed to do, but those are so easy to do that I don't know how those wouldn't be catched during development.
Yeah, you can pretty much ignore the whole mechanic in the level. You just need a couple barrels for the tighter squeezes. But it's a very fun level to play, very difficult, but I've seen someone describe this as a underwater level, but fast.
See that.
Very satisfying. Also, Anankoz is doing a great job with the skips.
And using the D-boosts and DK barrels in spots where you can't actually squeeze through. So save the D-boost for that point and then squeeze through on other points. Really, really good job.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but number caves are lower than J. I actually didn't know that.
Is it with the load times?
I believe
like the animation walking out?
Bears are also slower on J. Like, the bear I visited just now, if I had done that on J, it would have stayed on that screen a couple more seconds before fading.
I see.
That's interesting. So, Burn Your Rope update. This is the longest auto-scroller in the game. Almost in the trilogy. It's just not slower than Castle Crash on DKC2. But it's also a very chill level. It's not very exciting. Since we played it so much, like we know every enemy position, so we can just have a chill climb.
Apart from 103, where you actually have to do the few bonuses, there is pretty much nothing to do here. Just like climb up and face the right way.
It's actually the big difference between a human run, I guess, or a TAS run. Because in the TAS you can actually do zips in this stage by doing several frame-perfect rope climbs out of bounds or off screen. It's really not human possible, I don't think. But it saves, I don't know, 2 minutes or something. It saves a lot of
Someone
time.
can prove us wrong and just do it.
Please don't.
I don't know, man. With tricks that I see being used in runs now, I wouldn't be surprised if one day this really became RTA viable.
Because it's unfortunate that they changed how the rope jumping works in this game. Because you can see on the DKC1 and DKC2, you can on vertical ropes you can do like jumps around the rope to climb much faster. But in this game, you don't get as much height, so you have to do like almost frame-perfect jumps to be able to even save time. It's much tighter in general.
And again, one of those levels that the DK coin is just waiting for you here at the end, because there is pretty much nowhere else the coin enemy can spawn or stand in or stand on, so just put them at the end and that's it.
Also, fun fact, when the rope stops burning and the flame falls down, the flame can actually hit you and kill you.
I think if you miss the throw or you bonk the corner really badly, it can be in your way when you jump towards the goal.
Yeah, I've had a friend rage quit a race once because he died onto the flame, so he just stopped playing.
Who?
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it was funny though.
Unfortunate but funny.
Was it my former brother?
No, it was not.
Yeah.
It doesn't run 103, I don't think. And now for Left's favorite stage, Floodlit Fish. This stage is annoying for me. I don't really like it. It is dark, but that doesn't really matter. We know
it's more the fish movements.
Yeah, and the lurching's cycles, because the fish in this game is almost invincible, except for the very fast opening and closing enemies. That if you catch them in a weird cycle, you're just gonna take damage. It's hard to avoid if you're not playing consistently.
Yeah, your launches also have to be really consistent, like all over the place. If you want to cut the corners, like Dume said, get to the urchins at the right time. It's just a really hard level to optimize.
Mm-hmm. It also hurts my finger because I have to mash Y for so long and I end up pressing too hard.
Glad I'm not the only one, because I have that too.
A very well done job by Anankoz.
Yeah, I did the delayed lunges in the first half, but in the second half it's so much more difficult.
Little cute barrel ride there.
Fun strat. Here you're supposed to ride Squawks, the bird. Just skip him with like a roll jump onto that ledge at the start.
Yeah, this is a little bit of an animal antics type of level. you have the bird, the fish, and then the elephant, and also the spider at the end. But usually you only need the fish if you're trying to go fast. But in this case, we're gonna need the spider. Or actually, are we? No, we don't have. We don't
No,
need the spider.
no.
Never mind.
Only one
It's just
of
for a
three.
bonus. Yeah, you just need 2 Kongs to be able to reach the coin.
Nice job.
Nice throw.
DY.
We already saw 1 2-1 jump. Now we're gonna do and see another one.
Yeah, the 2-1 jump is called 2-1 jump because of DKC2, because you use that in 2-1. It is a very tight streak. It's a double frame perfect streak. You have to press B, A, and then B again to get a super high jump, a glitched jump. But the rest of the stage is very, very comfy. Just avoiding some bees and climbing some ropes.
I think the stage has a really good flow to it, at least the 80% route. The 103 route is a bit scuffed because of the bonuses. I guess the first bonus is fine, but the last bonus is terrifying.
Very ruins that level a little bit. Oof, very bad spot. Barbles is a bit of a douche. You need to rely on his spawn points in the first phase.
And also he doesn't have a hitbox in the middle. Can just like go inside of him in that second phase. Save a bit of time.
You can pretty much ignore all the mechanics later. Just hit him as soon as possible. And also damage boost, so you get the coin in the first frame possible.
Alright, we're heading into the last world of the run.
Yeah, word 7 is possibly the hardest word. I guess Krematoa is harder, but this word spikes up the difficulty a lot.
The gimmick of this level are these conveyor ropes, like climbable conveyor ropes that either push you forwards or backwards. Of course, trying to use the forward momentum ropes as much as possible and then avoid the ones that push you backwards as much as possible. But also avoiding the bees that are scattered throughout the rope sections. And Dixie is the Kong for this level. You don't really want to be Kitty on this.
Yeah, Dixie is the Kong for the whole Word 7, to be honest. Most levels are very hard to do as Kitty. I guess the Lightning Lookout level we're gonna be coming up soon. You have to use both Kongs, but usually you want to be Dixie.
In this stage I'm actually gonna play as Kitty. It's a little more difficult, but there's some cool stuff you can do.
Like enter that barrel. Yeah.
Yeah, grabbing K is very important. Yeah, this is the Ghost Barrel level, or the RNG caverns. Every barrel has a fixed cycle, like they always appear to the same positions, but the cycle itself is random, defined by the frame you enter the level. So you can actually, I think you can get like close to 10 seconds of difference from the best RNG to the worst RNG.
Especially punishing in any percent where you are usually playing with seconds compared to your own PB, but usually manageable in the longer categories, unless you get like really horrendous luck.
Yeah, and some barrels can throw you off a little bit because you expect them to be facing the right way instantly, and then if they are not, you can make a mistake. Also, shoutouts to Glenn for that coin strat. Very cool.
Actually, oh god. That coin strat was coin the skull.
Wait, what was what? Sorry?
That coin strat, it was discovered by someone on commentary.
Oh.
I didn't want to say anything.
I actually
Yeah,
didn't know.
it was my only contribution to this game.
Well, I'm still thanking Glenn. Sorry about that. No, just kidding. I actually thought it was Glenn that found out that.
Always thank Clan.
Shoutouts to Zeus for finding that very cool DK coin strat then.
Okay, lightning lookout.
I was supposed to be Dixie now, so
Oh,
it's gonna be
true.
improvising.
So in 103, where we also have to, of course, collect the DK coins, you also enter the bonuses that stop the light or reset the lightning and its position and everything, and inner ball, I guess. But here we don't enter the bonuses, so if you make a mistake, that mistake is gonna carry with you the entire level. So let's see how you are able to handle the second half now. Good job with not dying grabbing that DK coin.
It's very hard to grab the DK coin in the casual intended way, essentially. Because usually we do a damage boost, so you skip a lot of the waiting for the lightning. However, if you have to wait, it's terrifying.
See how the ending goes. Okay,
Nice nocturne
Nice.
ending.
good.
Very well done.
Alright, I had to think of everything on the spot, but didn't die.
Yeah, I didn't really even think that level is such a scary level in this category specifically. But it sure is.
This is probably the worst level to be Kitty in. You have these a lot of the coin guys you fought over the whole game. They are now very angry at you, trying to throw you off the ledges.
But also a really fun platform level.
Yeah, it is.
If you
really
don't
fun.
die.
It is somewhat inconsistent because the enemies are not really platforms, so they have some weird mechanics to them. But it's very fun to do the level properly.
I would also describe that as one of the levels that if nothing goes wrong, it has a really good flow to it, like Lemon.
Yeah, pretty much. And like Lemwin, the enemies can destroy your run.
True. So here, most likely you can't see the difference, but the D-pad is reversed. Left and right.
Yeah, weirdly, up and down are not reversed. But it's also a very simple level. We have Engard for a little bit, helps a lot. Goes really fast, but most of the level is just dodging, I guess, simple enemy positions or enemy placements. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's only
the
this
final
ending that
run-
gets kind of a bit more difficult.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the fish gates up in these spots.
But in this category, you can just deboost.
Oh yeah, we actually want Kitty here. That's fair.
Damn. Took
The
away
hardest
the
thing
only
about
hard
this,
part of the level. Thanks.
Actually, getting out of the water is the hardest thing, I think, because you have to swap the directions.
True.
Kind of tricky.
Actually true. And now we got to the so-called cleanup. Gonna be collecting the banana birds that are left, upgrading our vehicle one last time, and trading the last items that we've collected throughout the journey.
It's a little bit anticlimactic because you don't fight any bosses, you just clean up the world map. But it's fun, it's chill. There's a couple bear skips coming up.
This is the pet-themed part of the run.
Yeah, true.
No dice.
Yeah.
I think I called one, so we can still have that.
There's still Bramble. So that was another attempt at a bear skip. You can give him the shell and then release and repress B instantly to leave the hut.
And these
still
only
call
save
them-
a few seconds.
Yeah, it's not as big as Boomer Skip. And here is the gyrocopter. This is the reward we get for collecting all the decay coins.
Yeah, this is pretty much the only reason we collect them, because we can't access these bird caves without the DK coins.
But recently, a viewer of mine kind of dismantled my whole childhood because he just asked, why can't we just use squawks instead of actually getting a helicopter? That's like a major plot hole in this game.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's just
Sorry
use
about that.
squawks.
But the helicopter is cool.
I don't know. You left me speechless right there. I don't know what to say. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, me neither. It was just a shock. But a fun fact about these caves that Anankoz can actually do them by memory. Usually 103 runners are going to use like a notepad or a notebook with a pen or something to write down the directions or the buttons. And Anankoz can just memorize them usually. It's very good.
I would never trust myself at the end of a PB run to just memorize this.
Yeah, definitely not. There are 8 and 9 input caves, which are tough. I could never do it.
I'm having a tough time, like, even without any pressure. So, yeah.
Now,
And you don't really lose time by writing them down.
Well,
but
depends on
Someone
how
would
fast
call
you
it a
write.
task.
Now the trick I use is I remember the inputs in groups of 3, so Y I remember as yay, for example.
Then you can actually convert them into words that fast. That's crazy. I heard.
No, he can't. See, he can't.
Yeah, sorry about that. You can actually use the audio cue because every button has a specific audio, so you could do them blindfolded in theory, which is a very cool thing.
Has anyone done 103 blindfolded yet?
I don't
I don't think so. At least I don't think I've seen anyone or remember anyone doing that.
I think Katun did 102, and it took like
Yeah,
so
he
many
did.
hours.
Yeah, it was like 12 hours or so.
Yeah, something like that. And no bear skips, unfortunately.
Sorry, Sus.
We can get over this.
My hands are too sweaty to do that slide. too hot.
Just blame the climate. Oh no,
I mean, it's 12 Celsius. It's not that hot.
true. Coming up to the very end of the run, one more banana bird cave with nine inputs, right? 9?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the checkup. If you have 9 inputs here, it means you didn't forget anything. If you don't, you probably forgot a cave somewhere.
Nice.
First try, nice.
That was a difficult combination too. Lots of B's and X's. It's difficult to form words with that.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk on top of those hints
Same.
or whatever.
Now, this is the reason we save. Also, we didn't mention, but we saved at the beginning of the game because.
And this is the true ending.
Yeah. Otherwise, the game would soft lock on the true ending.
And yes, that wall has a spell. The bird can't fly around it. It's in the lore.
Oh, sorry,
one.
at time.
Yeah, that's time. GG.
Excellent. It's a tricky one to gauge time on if you're not comfortable with the category because
Yeah.
it doesn't go to credits. There's no boss fight. It's just that's
Yeah,
the last one.
Yeah, it just
should've-
ends.
Should have mentioned
last thing.
it was
It's
coming
okay.
up.
I was like, I think that's it, but I'm not 100. Okay, but I appreciate the help in that. Well, GG. That was a fantastic run. Really nice job.
Thank you.
That was really well done.
1909, if you're interested.
Not too bad.
I mean,
Sub-
marathon run. No?
Sub 120 was my goal, so I just wish I would have shown off a bear skip.
Can't
Next
have
run.
it all. Exactly. Next run for sure. Well, thank you so
Not
much.
bad at all.
Yeah,
Where can people? Hopefully we can get a shout out going in the chat. And but outside of that, where can people find you and find out more about this game?
so if you want to find out more about this game or any donkey game in general, I cannot recommend dkcspeedruns.com enough. It has resources for all 3 SNES games. People can find me on twitch.tv/Anankoz. I pretty much exclusively stream speedruns of the donkey games. And also go follow my commentators if you like Donkey, because they are both Donkey runners as well, one of them more active than the other. But yeah, if you
Maybe.
like that, if you like Donkey runs, I can definitely recommend you follow them as well. And yeah, thank you so much for joining for commentary. And thank you to Speed Dogs for hosting this marathon, and also special shout out to Sable. I hope everything that will be raised these days will be of great help.
For sure, for sure. Thank you for
Yeah, thank
having us, and thank you to everyone who has watched Donkey today. Hope it was entertaining.
Awesome.
thank you very
Thank you
much.
all. Thank you all so much. Well, we're gonna send it over to a commercial, and we're gonna be back with more of the marathon. But thank you all very much. Thank you all for watching. We'll be right back.
Bye.